Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. This is Connor from Futures Analytica bringing you guys another live futures trading session on ES. We're going to be doing the same as usual here today. We're going to be starting the day out in trend mode due to this relatively high motion here. Pretty big range. We have a almost 35 tick range here. So that's quite substantial. We definitely don't want to be in regression. We also have the pullback bar enabled here so we can see most up-to-date information about the bar. You can see here, though, we had negative delta at 757, and even though we had positive price movement, we're going to be keeping an eye here. But looks like we just got filled into our first trade today. It's a long trade, and we end up winning that one, immediately placed into a second trade. You can see here, guys, we've disabled our automatic stop chase due to the increased volatility that we've been experiencing in the markets. I would actually suggest you guys do the same. I've seen it's been pretty substantial in improving results. So that being said, your losses do hurt a bit more. You can see here we have our executions feed here with our account name actually visible, as well as timestamps. You can see here we've pushed through this derived zone that was automatically marked, but now we're chopping right back into it. This is telling me that we should be inside of regression mode, especially because at 7:59 we had no price movement and we had positive delta, very positive delta in fact. But we did just break through that derived zone there. But you can see now we're actually pushing our way downward. We got filled into a short position here. Also, guys, just an update on Sierra Link. We have been pushing out that update over the past 24 hours. So most of you guys should have that Polarity installation pre-set up at this point. Just got filled into a short position here. And we end up winning that trade pretty quickly as well. Also, to answer your question, Stan, for ES 750 tick, your minimum stacked imbalances should be 3 for entry. I personally like to use 2 sometimes, but 3 is the best for consistency. 2 really only needs to be used during low volatility. I do like to enable that 1 tick gap, so we just got filled into another trade right on top of that. We're getting a lot of trades today. At this point, we are going to switch into trend mode. Even though we were in regression, we won all those trades. I think it's because of this chop around this zone here. We only had one of those trades that was really strangely a win. And you can see we're likely going to be bouncing in between these two zones here that were marked by the Analytica chart 4+. We end up winning that trade, get put into another trade right there back to back. Getting into a lot of trades at this point. Significant amount of movement. End up winning that trade up to $3,600 on the day now at this point. We haven't lost a trade yet, which is pretty interesting. Just got filled into a long position here at this point. And we end up winning that trade as well. Up to 4,000 on the day here. Kind of an insane win streak at this point. Got filled into a long position here. Almost hit our take profit there. And we end up winning that trade as well, up to $4,400 on the day now. Right there into a long trade. This is kind of ridiculous, guys. Extremely sensitive settings today, looks like. Looking at my Ninja script output here. Yeah, we're getting optimized to very low imbalance ratios at this point, but still pretty high adversary detection. It's an interesting combo. Just got filled into that long position and we end up winning that trade as well. Hey Matthew, to answer your question, I don't think that's actually true, which was, how come I have never seen a losing trade on any of your videos? Thank you. I actually do lose quite a few trades. I believe on my last live stream, I lost 5 or 6 trades out of the 12 that were taken, but we ended up being profitable because we had a skewed stop loss versus take profit. So our original risk to reward ratio was higher than 1. So we actually came out on top on that. But I do lose quite a few. I think today is kind of an outlier. I don't actually know why it was so fast back to back to back. And we ended up winning quite a few trades there. I don't think we got a single loss today. Let's check that out. Yeah, nothing today. But now, if this was not a live stream, I'd understand your suspicion, but this is a zero delay live stream. I cannot cherry pick anything. You're seeing everything as it's happening. So I understand your suspicion, but because this is a live stream, I think that justifies it. And because and we have this Q&A form because I don't want to moderate live chat while I'm trading. We often get over 250 viewers on the live streams if I send out an email, and that would just be ridiculous to have to manage and answer everyone's questions over there, where here I can queue up everyone's questions and answer them one by one as they come in. Hey, Stefan, thank you for the question, and I appreciate you coming in today. So with the software, there is a full guidebook where we teach you how to actually use the software, and we also have a comprehensive support system to help you out with that. But yeah, if you get the stage 3 bundle, you can see with the you can get started right away and just start watching the tutorial videos and reading the guidebook, and you'll be set. Hey Tom, thank you for the question. So after the VPS update, the login should not change, nor should the IP. Hey David, thank you for your question. If you have the base Analytica Chart 4 and PolarityATI, will my trades be less informed due to less info as compared to Analytica Chart 4 Plus? So with the base Analytica Chart 4, you do not get these derived zones as a plottable instance. So you are likely going to be less informed when you're doing your mode switches and when you're getting your trades executed. But that being said, there is not necessarily a substantial difference, but I've found it extremely useful, especially when the market is in a regressive zone. So that being said, today was very strong movement. Analytica Chart 4 Plus didn't really help at all because we were pretty much in trend mode the entire time and we didn't really use the derived zones. But when it gets choppy, when it gets into a intermediate market, it can be extremely helpful. Hey Tyler, so in regards to the models, it comes with a prepackaged model. So you don't actually have to do any training. Um, but if you want to create your own model, we have a comprehensive ability to do that. You have a lot of freedom when it comes to that. But again, that is not a required thing. Ron asked me, why did you go back to trading ES from NQ? I was getting tired of commissions eating into about 25% or more of my profits each day. It was kind of ridiculous, as well as NQ having a 2 to 3 tick slippage due to the spread. ES has a 1 tick spread. It's quite nice. And just generally lower commissions when you compare the notional value. So that's also quite nice. Hey Aramir, thank you for the question. The stream is not delayed. If you go to your chart on your computer, you can see it line up exactly with my chart. I'm sure that there is a 1 or 2 second delay from when you actually see the stream to when you get it, but yeah, we do not have a delay. So with R9B, you are getting or sorry, not with R9B, sorry, with the new pre-release models, you're getting different models for trend and regression, which is much better when you're using regression. Before you were kind of at a disadvantage in regression, but here you no longer have that edge decay from being in regression. We're going to try and take one more trade here, but we just clicked on both and immediately got filled into a short position there. I just clicked that and immediately got filled. That's pretty funny. But now we're up to 6,500. I'm going to keep trading for a little bit today. I'm going to try and go for 7,000 today. I mean, we already have a pretty substantial amount of profit here, so. Hey, Melter. To answer your question, the new updated models are in the Dropbox that's included. Just check it out. It's in the final folder, and you're also going to see a NinjaTrader backup file, which you can just import, and it'll install everything for you. Hey, Mark, thank you for the question. So with the new NinjaTrader 8 backup file, that does overwrite your current templates. So if you want to include those, I suggest you back them up and you manually drag them into your templates folder. That'll save it. But unfortunately, we have to do this if you want a super easy install. But you don't need to use the NinjaTrader backup file to install this. We have a manual installation, which just takes about 5 minutes longer. But it can just be a little bit more tedious. Hey, Robert. So yeah, the guidebook absolutely shows how to install the software and how to adjust, retrain it. The adjustment and retraining method is pretty simple. It's you just turn on heuristic parameters. So because it's machine learning, it would be kind of a misnomer if it was a significant amount of manual intervention in regards to training the model. So a lot of that's automatic. But with the guidebook, that's not mostly on how to install it. We have a video for that because we want to make sure it's, users are following that and able to install it quite easily. So mostly the guidebook is for the education or any specific questions you have on a technical basis in regards to the strategy. Hey, Matthew, thank you for the question, which was to better understand the strategy we're implementing and the delta convergence/divergence. Are there any books that you recommend so I better understand exactly what you were seeing and why? So I don't think there's any books necessarily that will explain anything, of course, besides just a generalized order flow book, because we're not using many new techniques besides entropy. But we do have a lot of videos on our channel which explain exactly what we're trading. So I believe in the description of this live stream, there is a section highlighted in all caps which says watch this video to better understand the strategy I'm trading, and I highly suggest watching that video. It's generally going to get you the highest amount of knowledge in terms of your time spent. Hey, Oshan. So with the ML, it depends on what you are looking at in terms of how you're training it. So there are two methods to train the model. So the first one is your initial training series, and this is if you decide to not use the prepackaged model and you want to create your own. So that's going to be, you're going to load the recommended indicators onto the chart, and then you're going to load your recommended time frame or your own time frame or your own instrument, and you are going to click train the model. And what this is going to do is it's going to look at prior market data. It's going to look at correlations between what happens when and why we should adjust the settings to what, when, and it's going to create a model based off of that. It's automatic. That process takes about a minute and a half for the computer to actually process that and generate the model. And then you're going to get a window which shows the performance of that model. And then after that, if you want to continuously improve your model based off of your trading behavior, you can turn on incremental learning. And what incremental learning is going to do is that as you trade normally, it's going to learn from your trading behavior and try to compensate for your mistakes. So again, if you are making a ton of mistakes, this can also just make it so that you get a significantly less amount of trades. So that being said, it can be a double-edged sword. You can be only getting maybe 4 or 5 trades a day if your win rate's below 40% or below 50%. But then it's going to increase your win rate to much higher percentage if you're only getting 4 or 5 trades per day. But that being said, that's going to mean that you're getting a longer trading day and you have the potential to overtrade. Hey, Charlie, that's correct. So you go to remote desktop connection and you're going to input your IP address, and then you're going to want to make sure that you select your credentials. You need to make sure that you do not use the default username. You have to actually type in administrator as the username, or else it's going to try and sign in with your Microsoft account and it's going to give you an invalid credentials. Hey, Brad, thank you for letting me know about that. I'm going to make sure to check on that. Could you forward me that email? And I'll make sure to get that looked at. At this point, I'm just answering questions, guys. So sorry if this is kind of a dull stream. I mean, we've already hit our profit target and a little bit more. So I'm kind of just having fun at this point. But I do appreciate you guys continuously watching. Hey, Stefano, I am using the prepackaged model. Hey, Needham, thank you for the question. I would suggest starting out with 30 days of data. Brad, you can just send that to the email you originally sent to, and I'm just going to manually go into that inbox and look at it. Sorry, guys, I am a little bit sick, so my voice is kind of raspy. Also, with Sierra Link, guys, we're almost at capacity, so we only have 10 more slots available on any plan. So we're almost running out, and it's going to be about 20 days before our next server rack comes in. Hey, Kujan. So with Sierra Link, it comes with everything installed, and you don't have to give any machine IDs to activate it. We already have that pre-set up, so no licensing is required there. Hey, Robert, thank you for letting me know. I'm glad these Q&A sessions are helpful. And Skline, I'm very sorry about that. So with that connection, there are a couple of VPSs that are somewhat sticky when it comes to reinstalling this the instances. A couple of VPSs got booted off. We started the maintenance last night at 8 p.m. and it's been there's one server instance that's having some trouble updating due to Windows licensing being finicky. But we're getting that sorted out as soon as possible, and we will compensate you for the days lost. Hey Arjan, yes, you will get an email when the update's done. Hey Tyler, so yes, this only currently works with NinjaTrader and not Quant Tower. If we get significant interest in Quant Tower, we can push it over. It shouldn't be that hard to port, but um, the machine learning component might be a little bit more difficult. Hey Matthew, thank you for the question. So right now I would be in regression mode. You can see here at 818, we have negative 17 delta and positive price movement. So this is going to indicate to us that, and of course the other factors as well. This isn't just, you don't just look at one divergence, but we have significant chop around this level. And these derived zones, even though they've been closed out, they're still forming around the same level and prices following that. So yes, I would certainly be in regression mode at this point. Hey Kujan, thank you for the question. So with the $75 Sierra Link package, you only get 2 CPU cores. So that can be a little bit difficult when you're using the Analytica Chart 4 Plus with so many different plots. But if you're using the Analytica Chart 4 Base with non-machine learning, the $75 package is more than enough. But that being said, you're probably going to want to bump it up to the next notch if you want to get the AC4 Plus working as well as possible on that. Yes, Brad, resend it to that email. I'm gonna go in there manually and look at it. Hey Ron, so at this point we don't have live support that's paid. We only have the free live support or the free email support. I mean, but we can take a look at that. Shoot me an email and we'll talk about that. Also, guys, we do have that 20% off coupon for any bundle today. So check that out if you're interested. It's a pretty solid deal at this point. Hey, no worries, Brad. I appreciate the engagement. Um, Matthew, for July 4th, we are going to be having that sale. You know what? I'm just going to start that today. So I'll send out, I'll post that code and we'll have that running until July 5th. But probably going to do a pretty substantial discount for July 4th. So Hey, BK Ravish, I'm not exactly sure what you mean in terms of where can we find the Sierra VPS details. In the description of the video, there is a link to the Sierra Link website, um, and you can check out the details there. Now, if you're looking for something more specific, please let me know, and I can help get that answered for you. And yes, Mark, I am using the pullback bar. It does help me in determining market direction when the market's moving much slower than it is right now. So today the market is obviously moving very fast, reach our profit target very, very quickly. So we didn't really look at the pullback bar at all. But when it really starts to slow down, you can find that extra edge by looking at the pullback bar. Hey Tom, thank you for the question, but I believe I answered this question already regarding the Sierra Link. We've been updating it for the past 24 hours and getting that pre-installed configuration going. Now there is one server unit that is giving us some trouble in pushing that update, and we're working on that. And if you're affected, that may be you, and everyone on that will get compensated for their time. Hey Salisbury, so your question was when will you update your installation videos? We don't have that at the top of our priority list because the installation process is the exact same for R9B and the current version. It's just a different name for the folder. So if you see a guy saying double click on r9b.zip, you're just gonna change that and you're gonna double click on no final zip. So it's the same process, but we will get that done eventually to make sure that confusion is minimized. We posted a note on that video to make sure people know that. Oh, hey, BK Ravish. So, to answer your question, I personally trade on the Sierra plan, obviously, but that's just me. I like to get as much of an edge as possible, and I like having a high fidelity chart that does not lag at all, and I can have as many visual elements as I can. Um, that being said, it can be a bit bigger of an issue if you're looking at having a bunch of visual elements if you're going to use the $77 plan. But I would recommend most people use the Strata plan because it's a great middle ground, especially if you don't want to have a huge commitment. Yeah, Tom, I'm sorry about that. I know we've been having dialogue about that for the past week, and I apologize. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it there. We had a pretty long Q&A session today, and I hope that this was helpful to you guys. I highly appreciate you guys tuning in continuously, and I hope you're enjoying your experience here on the stream. But thank you guys.